Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I am so excited because I was going through my collection yesterday and a little light went off and I'm like, oh yes. I was going through my collection yesterday because I was trying to depot some MAC shadows and put them in a Z palette, and I just looked at my collection and I'm like, why am I not filming a MAC series? So I'm going to start a MAC series that I'm going to call Back to MAC. How clever, right? And I'm going to feature MAC products. So as you guys know, or if you don't know, now you know, I started off with MAC. I have a lot of fantastic memories with MAC. It is a brand that is very near and dear to my heart, but you guys know that I work for Sephora now, and working for Sephora, you're exposed to other brands. Well, I have a ton of MAC products that I would love to just kind of pull out and play with again. It's a fantastic brand, and I feel like they've always been the brand to just kind of push lines and just come up with really great innovative products. With that being said, there are other fantastic brands that are challenging their own line and coming up with very similar products, and they're less expensive. So what I'm going to tell you is use what you have. If you don't have the products that I'm using, use what you have that maybe is similar to replicate this look. I can honestly tell you that some of the products I've used are limited edition, and I apologize for that, but I had this look in mind and I really wanted to do it. Ooh, I'm sure you guys can find a lot of similar things in your collection. I hope that you guys enjoyed this. I hope that you're just as excited as I am, because I'm ecstatic. Every week you will see a video featuring MAC products. Baby, we are going to bring MAC back. I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you want to see how I got this look, then stick around. Alright guys, so I have already prepped my skin and I used my MAC's Fix Plus, and this is in lavender. I'm almost out of it and I really like this. My skin's been a little bit dry, so I'm using this to add just a little bit of hydration. And I am going to start off by priming my eyes. I don't know why I held up my sponge. I'm going to be using my MAC Prep and Prime 24-Hour Extended Eye Base. And I'm just going to use this and pat it on my eyes. I really, I like to bring this up to my brows to make sure that whatever I put on my brows stays on. And I don't have a ton of, like I used to use the MAC pencil in Spiked. I would always buy like 6 at a time because I would go through them really quickly. And I don't have Spiked anymore because I only use Dip Brow now. But if this was back in the day, that's what we'd be using. So we're just gonna have to make things work. All right, so the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to take this eyeshadow called Always Sunny. And I know that they discontinued some of these, which I'm like, why? They were some of my favorites. I swear to you guys, as I was going through my stuff yesterday, I'm like, oh, I remember that. I used to use it all the time. So Always Sunny looks like this. It almost reminds me of Milk Cosmetics Blur. It's just a really beautiful skin tone, warm, delicious shadow. You guys know that for the most part my brushes are MAC. I love my MAC brushes, would not trade them in for the world. So I'm going to take a 224 and then just dip into this bad boy, and I'm going to take this color and apply it into my crease, and then also blend it out into the lid a little bit, just so that it really mattifies the base that we put down. I love this color. I remember I used to use this in Uninterrupted, which I have a video where I will be using that for you guys because I love that so much. I can't tell you guys just how excited I am to have come up with this series, and I don't know if it's okay that I'm calling it Back to MAC. Maybe I'll call them like Back to MAC tutorial. But I'm so excited because I'm like, oh my gosh, yes. You know, being that I'm doing a no-buy, I have to be really creative about how I'm gonna keep you guys engaged and entertained and make sure that my channel continues to grow. Because right now, we're a little stuck. Alright, so the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna take this fluid line in Copper Thorn. I'm sorry, some of these are gonna be limited edition. I'm just gonna throw it out there. It's this beautiful coppery gold glittery deliciousness. So I've actually used this as a liner and I like it, but I really love it as a shadow. I just think it gives you a really pretty pop of color. So we are going to take, this is a MAC 212. It's a limited edition brush. It's just a flat liner brush. And I'm gonna take this, dip it into the pot, and I'm going to place that all over my lid, and this is gonna be our shadow for today. Yes, look at this. I can't tell you guys how excited I am to do this. This stuff is like, you know, I started with MAC, and through MAC I was able to really build my artistry, develop as an artist, and also build confidence. Like I remember the day I interviewed, you know, it was probably the hardest interview I've ever attended, and I walked out of there going, I didn't get it. I was sure that I didn't get it. And then when I got the email and the call to come in for a second interview, I was just over the moon. Like, it was amazing. And then to get hired, and I'm telling you guys, it was the best thing that ever happened to me. One of the happiest days of my life. So this is what it looks like. I love it. There's so much texture and dimension in this one product. And this just goes to show that, like, you don't have to use products for what they're intended for. You can be creative and use on your eyes and, you know, your face, your lips, then go for it. So what I'm doing is, once I get to the crease of my eye, I'm taking the edge of the brush and just kind of carving it out, and then I'm bringing the product, I'm pulling it down. If I pull that product up, it's going to deposit the glitter into the crease, and I don't really want to do that. I really just want to spread the product out. So I'm going to go in and I'm tapping more of this liner on the lid just to get a more intense finish. Alright guys, and this is what it looks like so far. We're gonna let this dry out before we do anything else to the eyes, and then let's move on to something else. Alright, so now what we're going to do is, I think we're gonna move on to complexion. So I am going to take my Ride or Die foundation. This is the MAC Pro Longwear foundation, and this is in the shade NC40. This foundation and I were in a serious relationship for 9 years. It was and is the best foundation I have ever tried. To tell you guys, this is the foundation that I use in my kit, and it's the only foundation I have other than Mayron, their cream foundation, and that's only because their shades go much deeper, and so I like to have it as backup. But if I can just get away with using Pro Longwear, that's what I'm going to use, because it just looks flawless. It's great on any skin type, and it is the best ever. So I'm pulling my hair out of my face, clearly, and I'm going to take 2 pumps of this, and I'm going to apply it with a sponge. If you guys know me from my first YouTube channel, you guys will know that this was the only foundation that I ever used. And even when I left MAC and I started working for Sephora, it was so hard for me to recommend products to people, because this was the foundation that I wanted to recommend, because I didn't know anything else outside of MAC, and I loved it so much. It was so hard for me to put it down. I literally had to force myself not to repurchase it when I ran out. And after I tried new brands, I still went back and I bought another one, which is what this is. Pretty used up, but I love it. The coverage is amazing. It lasts all day. It photographs beautifully. It just makes your skin look perfect. Next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna go and use my MAC Pro Longwear concealer, and this is in the shade NC40. I'm just going to take, you don't even need a full pump of this. It's a little tricky to get out the right amount. You always end up using more than you need just because the packaging isn't necessarily the best, but we're gonna make it work. And I think actually this shade is NC30. I wouldn't go a shade lighter than 1. And then we're going to just apply that with our finger, pat it in. All right, now I'm just going to take that same sponge and blend all of this out. To set my foundation, I'm going to use my Mineralized Skin Finish in medium golden. And I'm going to use this fan brush that came with my Whisper of Guilt highlighter. This foundation really doesn't need setting. It dries quickly. I just like to put a powder over it so that when I go in with other powder products, it's nice and dry. It does have a sticky consistency, which makes everything adhere to it. I'm telling you guys, it's fantastic. Alright guys, so I am going to use my Extended Play Giga Black Lash for my eyelashes today, and I'm going to use my Anastasia Dip Brow. I'm going to come back and then we'll finish up the rest of this look. So I added Bountiful Brown liner on my lower lash line, and I went in with Always Sunny just to kind of smudge it out and give my lower lash line some definition. I'm going to take my Extended Play Giga Black Lash Mascara and apply that to my lower lash line. If you would rather not have anything other than mascara on your lower lash line, by all means, go for it. But I wanted something on the bottom to just kind of balance out the top. I'm going to take a little bit of this MAC Diane Kendall Spring Summer 2017 mascara. It's a really pretty, just like aubergine color, and I'm going to add just a few coats of that just to give this look a little bit more dimension and some contrast. So back in the day, the mascara of choice for me was the the Hot and Naughty, the original with the pink top. That was my favorite mascara. I always had it, and I would just go through it, and it's a really good mascara. Truthfully, the MAC mascaras were not some of my favorites. I think that they've gotten better with time, but they were never my first pick other than the Hot and Naughty and the Extended Play Giga Black Lash. I mean, you guys see that I continue to repurchase Extended Play, and there it is. All right, my lovelies. We are going to take, of course, Give Me Sun. That's what that looks like. And I'm going to take my MAC 135 brush, and I'm just going to use this to warm up my complexion. I'm going to go in and highlight before I move on to blush. I'm going to use, of course, the highlighter that started all of our highlighting obsessions, Whisper of Guilt. That's what she looks like, and I'm going to use the brush that it came with. Yes. I feel like before Whisper of Guilt, highlighting was not as exciting as it is now. You know, you had like Soft and Gentle, that of course was also very popular, but I feel like this is what started the highlight obsession. And now I'm going to take my all-time favorite MAC blush. I am going to be using my Warm Soul, and this is an original Warm Soul. I've told you guys before in a rant that I feel like they've changed the color since this, and I refuse to let this go past where it is. Like, I use it sparingly because of that. I'm using my MAC 137, and I'm just going to apply this. And then don't worry about it looking really powdery or anything, because we're going to go back with Bix Plus, and we're going to just make sure that everything looks really skin-like. I'm going to take my MAC Prep and Prime Lip Primer. I'm going to take my Fix Plus. Alright, for my lips, I'm going to be taking this, what is it called? Feel So Grand liquid lipstick. It's going to look so glowy. It's pretty. Alright guys, this is the final look. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Please be sure to subscribe if you haven't done so already. Give this video a thumbs up and leave a comment down below if there are any MAC products that you guys want me to use in any upcoming videos. And I hope you guys have an amazing Valentine's Day. If you guys celebrate, we don't. But I hope you guys have a fantastic day anyway, and I will talk to you guys soon. Bye.